Anthony Cifelli, CEO of Truevail. Thanks for joining us today. We're having a great chat today with Kristin Chambers. She's the founder of D.A. Luxury and TRAVELLUSTRE, based in Boston. So we're really looking forward to talking with her today. So what makes a great luxury travel agency? There's a lot of people that wonder what goes into being an agency owner. It's probably not as easy as it looks. But today we have an awesome agency owner, Kristin Chambers from D.A. Luxury in Massachusetts, also of TRAVELLUSTRE. Welcome, Kristin. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you're welcome. So, you guys, when COVID hit, a lot of agencies had tough times, advisors had tough times. We are probably, still not totally back to 100% normal, but you guys, you didn't slow down. You did just the opposite. You charged right ahead, and and look at what the outcome is from charging right forward. So, what happened during that time, and what gave you the sort of the guts to just go right through it and say, you know what, we're going to go for it?
Sure. I think, well, there's also, so TRAVELLUSTRE, I own TRAVELLUSTRE, which is like our whole team that we all operate our own individual brands underneath. Just clarify. And so we have a management team. I have a management team that runs TRAVELLUSTRE. Then I also sell through D.A. Luxury Travel, my brand. So I sell and I manage. And so I was on both sides of it. I was overseeing a really great group of independent contractors. I don't like saying ICs. I like we're all business women right now. We're women, but if we were men, businessmen and women. And I was also on the sales side with clients. And so I was seeing both sides of when the pandemic hit of what was happening. And I always think of our whole collective team as a team, right? We're all a team, nobody left behind. And so when it happened, it wasn't just like, gosh, there was also clients that needed us to jump in and assist, but there was also our advisors that were looking to us to guide them through. And so it was, I've grown up my whole life playing sports, all team sports, right? When something happens, the going gets tough, you band together and you forge forward. So I just had that mentality going through. And it was the end of March, after about 2 weeks of just our entire businesses just going from really rocking to, nothing at all. And I was just seeing the morale as people were working through cancellations. And we thought, hey, you know what? One thing our whole team loves, it's food. What's one thing we love doing is culinary. Most of us have that in common. So we thought we'd work with some of our great chefs and guides around the world. And as clients were having to cancel their going in travel, we thought we would bring it virtual. I know there's a lot of virtual stuff going on. It was really the end of March 2020 where we just rocket fired Culinary Live. It's actually still live, still on our website a little bit about some of the programming we did. But we thought we'd reach out to our DMCs, see if they had any ideas. We did it for the first couple of weeks as a complimentary offering to our clients and to keep our advisors going. It just caught like wildfire. So a lot of our clients were starting to privatize it and paying for it. So our advisors were getting paid. Our DMCs were able to get paid. So it was a win-win. Certainly not compensated as much as you would with, regular travel, but it was enough to keep us moving forward, keep us top of mind for clients, keep us top of mind for DMCs and our advisors to, make a little extra. And of course, we were doing the staycations and the domestic travel as well. So
you had to pivot, but not, not stop.
Right. Yeah, we definitely, I think, still trying to keep to that 9 to 5. We had team meetings every week, and it's enticing to just want to pull the covers over your head and pretend it's not happening. So, but we all encourage each other to stay on that schedule, right? Let's have our morning meeting, let's have our midday check-in, let's have our afternoon health check. How's it going? To kind of keep some sense of normalcy in our work day. So, and I think for all of our collective wellness and mental sanity, we did great. And now we're seeing clients that were just, you were there, and our advisors they stuck with us, they're still with us, and that we're all seeing the results of all of our work during those tougher times.
Yeah. So I jumped ahead of the gun a little bit on that, but let's just back it up and talk a little bit about the structure of your group, DA, luxury, and then talk about, TRAVELLUSTRE and what that has meant to your business.
Sure. So I founded D.A Luxury Travel in 2006 after working for another agency for about 5 years. And I founded it, right before the recession, but started it, worked through that. It was really, it was my brand of business, right? And so over the years, I was having other advisors or other professionals looking to transition into the space, asking if they could work under DA, if they could do mentorship. And I was getting a lot of it. And I was getting some really incredible people with some really great resumes and passion for the industry. So in 2016, I decided, well, why don't we start TRAVELLUSTRE? So I launched TRAVELLUSTRE, which is essentially like our parent company, where all of us individual business owners and travel professionals can work under. It's essentially a host agency. Really don't like to use the word host. I really don't like to use the word IC, but it's how it is TRAVELLUSTRE is a portfolio of leading travel advisors. We're Boston based, but we're have global representation. So that's kind of our umbrella. DA Luxury Travel, I've kept that. I have clients I've been working with since I launched it in 2006. And so I wanted to maintain that brand. So I have a team of three and a half, four that work with me serving our clients under DA. And then TRAVELLUSTRE is independent companies or advisors.
What do you think? What's the difference between the two groups, and what are the differences? What are the differences between the two groups? And I remember when you put together TRAVELLUSTRE, I had August or something. It was a couple of years ago, and you had the whole group, and we did this video thing with the whole group. And I mean, that's one of the things that I love about what you do. You don't shy away from marketing, and you bring people in that are going to benefit the individual advisors. It blows my mind sometimes when owners don't really see the necessity. Obviously you did, but just talk a little bit about the difference of from DA to TRAVELLUSTRE, and what opportunities those two groups offer to advisors.
Sure. So we're in Massachusetts, so it's a little tricky. So if I want to sell and then manage a group of unemployed contractors, I have to keep it separate, right? So that's why I've kept them separate. However, everything I do at DA rolls up into TRAVELLUSTRE. So I'm essentially my own IC. TRAVELLUSTRE is the overarching brand. It is the host agency, if you will. So that's really TRAVELLUSTRE encompasses all of us. We have a great management team at TRAVELLUSTRE. There's myself. We also have a COO, Janet Flagg. She essentially works as like an executive coach to all of IC's business development, helping them run and grow their business and expand their teams as well. Yeah. We have our finance operations that just, helps on that side. And then we have a director of partner relations. And so our advisors have a lot of people at their fingertips to help them grow and thrive. So that's really the difference. And so when we also as selling as well, I've got obviously a team that helps me with our clients over at DA. That's kind of the difference, if that makes it's a little complicated, but Massachusetts likes to complicate things. But so for all the advisors, that we welcome new advisors and their businesses to work under the portfolio of TRAVELLUSTRE.
Okay. And when you first started it seemed like each advisor under TRAVELLUSTRE had sort of a niche. Yeah. One might have been food, another might have been Europe or whatever. Is that still the case?
Yeah. So I do a lot of mentoring for advisors, and at TRAVELLUSTRE, when someone comes into our industry that's new to the industry, I always like to say, pick a major to start, right? You come in, you go through our training for new advisors, and then all of a sudden it's like, go sell the whole world. I like to say, you have the resources to be able to do so, but to kind of to establish a pathway, pick something that really interests you, and whether it's going to be marketing. So for example, we had someone that was really focused on wellness. So that's really where she targets her marketing. She tweaks her marketing to wellness, but knowing that she does have the resources and our collective team and the Virtuoso network to really be able to work anywhere with our partners.
Right. Okay. So you just said something interesting about mentoring, because it's good to see new people coming in to the business, but I think that there are some holes when it comes to training that a lot of agencies don't do.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that and mentoring? I think that that's really important.
It is. And, just because someone loves to travel doesn't mean that this is the appropriate career path. So when we have someone that's looking to transition, we have a lot of really great seasoned advisors, but occasionally we will welcome someone new to the space. And so everyone may be at different parts of their business development. And so from a mentorship, it's really giving them a pathway, giving not only a financial benchmark, but a learning pathway, a learning benchmark after they go through the foundational training. And then as a team, we're very collaborative. We're constantly helping each other. I love seeing some of the advisors hop on calls and supporting each other. Janet is she's our built-in executive coach for advisors. She's always connecting with them, finding out how can we better financially benchmark you, how can we better support you, really at their fingertips. So depending upon what stage of their business development they're at, we have a game plan for them. Whether they're, multi-million-dollar producer, $500,000 producer, newer to the space, there's an appropriate business plan and pathway for all of them that we build out.
So do you think that that's a good piece that you bring for somebody that's really not really sure? Because like you said, they do love to travel, obviously,
right,
in the business, because we all love to travel,
right,
certainly me included. How do you transition them and make it sort of apply it? Because there's sometimes there's a disconnect with people that come from outside of the travel. It's almost like travel has its own universe it works in. How do you you know what I mean? How do you transition?
Yeah, so I'd love to talk a little bit how we transition somebody new to the space, and also how we transition somebody in that does have a book of business that's looking to grow their company. So we have a really cool training program there too. So for someone newer to this space, we have very honest conversations. Obviously, I'm very unbiased. I started in this industry in 2002. I developed my business in 2006 as a single mom facing the recession. I plowed through, I've been through a lot of different challenges and trying to figure it out, and was independent for a long time because I wanted to run my company the way I wanted to. I was a marketing major in college. It's kind of where my mind goes first and foremost a lot of times. So I love the creativity that this industry brings too. And so I understand those challenges. I was an IC also before I launched my my business in 2006. So I've been in their shoes from start to now having a great group, a great book of business. I've been through all of the pain points. I've been through all the stages. So I'm not shy in sharing how the industry has some challenges you can face, but how it's evolved so much. I think that the Virtuoso Network has a really incredible training program. We love the VCTA program. We lean on that. So that's a good tool to really initially get them kicked off if they kind of fit the profile we're looking for. I say it's always helpful if you have a network. If you don't, then you really have to make sure you have a solid marketing game plan, like Truevail, like doing networking, building up your client book, finding creative marketing ways to get your name out there. You've got to be hungry in that regard if you're not coming with a built-in network of people you can tap from and book from. So I think that's the very first conversation that we have is which are you? Are you going to have to go more you should do marketing regardless, but But we have some advisors that come, they have a great network and they're very, very successful. tapping their built-in network. There are some that don't have that luxury, so they have to kind of start from ground zero. So that's really the first conversation is, which one are you? So
yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah, and we have so we did, I've done a lot of training. I've developed my own internal training for advisors. It's a hybrid between recorded and in person. We did a few 2018, 2019, 2020. So if there's someone new, and we've got a few, we do have an internal training program. We take them from establishing their business to business planning to financial benchmarking. Where do you want to be in 18 months from the start date? And we start there. Yeah. And then we have them pick a major.
I like that, pick a major. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And for someone new into this space, we're actually really excited. We're launching, we have an ETA, executive assistant training program. That's an internal training program that we've developed. It's 18 modules. Sorry, 15 modules, about 18 hours. And what it is it's a whole training from start to finish that is going to teach someone. First, it's going to help you understand how to delegate and why you need to hire someone full-time to assist you, or part-time. It's fine with that too. And then we put them through this training module, and we tweak all of the systems training and industry training to cater to more of a support role. So you're going to come in and support your producing advisor. So someone that's in sales and focused on revenue generating activities doesn't have to step aside for those 15, 18 hours, which is the appropriate time it takes to properly train someone, part-time or full-time. So they don't have to step away from that. So that's a really great tool we have for people looking to grow their teams.
So how many advisors are collectively do you have?
Yeah, right now we have 15.
15?
Yeah, we're accepting new, but everyone is fully dedicated. We're very firm on that. You have to be fully dedicated to this industry. We're not, and there's no side hustles or hobbyists. There's an agency for everyone, but because we pour so much into our advisors, it's like I say, we're open to accepting new fully dedicated advisors. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I did see that actually somewhere where you have hobbyists now, but that's an interesting thing. I don't know how well it'll go, but obviously you've put a lot of energy into developing your business and training programs stuff, which is amazing. So I think that's, like we were talking about before, I think there's a gap in there, and you guys are certainly filling that gap, which I think goes a long way towards long-term success, because it's loving travel is one thing, but it's a business. It's like you're the mayor of your country, or you're the president of your country. There's a lot of things that go into running a business. Just because you're a great technician does not make you a great business person, and I think that often gets overlooked.
It does. And we have I'm very firm on running your business like a business. So much, in fact, that every spring and fall, we have a series, running your business like a business. And we've been doing that for about 4 years now, right before the pandemic. And so it might be marketing, or this fall, it's boundaries. We take it right down to the studs, because a lot of times these topics we're talking about on how to properly run your business is mindset too. So there's the whole mindset component, and then, take it right down, then rebuild it. Like boundaries, we started right from verbally messaging what you do in like a social setting. It starts there, establishing your boundaries through the whole process. So you're absolutely right. It's and from a consumer standpoint, we're running our firms. This isn't some sort of kind of serious thing so I can get some travel parks. You're absolutely right. This is a business. You need to run your business. You need to have your finances straight. You need to have your standard operating procedures straight. You should have a team, like you should, even a part-time assistant, like you absolutely should.
Yeah. I think, so when somebody that's independent is working under your umbrella, how do you give them the freedom to sort of market themselves, or do you have any kind of code that you like them to stick to? Where do you fall in that category?
Yeah, so we ask our business owners, we like to call, like D.A. Luxury Travel is a member of TRAVELLUSTRE. And it's I mean, they all love messaging it, because if it's one advisor, with one advisor running his or her own book of business,
Right.
I always like to say, well, you have one advisor you're working with, you have the whole team of TRAVELLUSTRE behind you. And from a client facing standpoint, I think that's impressive. And, I think we all agree, we all love leaning into each other to help, like rising tide of all boats sort of thing. So we ask everyone is just message that they're a member in TRAVELLUSTRE on their emails and on their social media and in their marketing.
It's good. And I love the professionalism of what you put together. It's I think that there's an evolution. When you change the name from travel agent to travel advisor, in my opinion, you should deliver that message, not just change the name, but you should be moved into the level where you're an actual trusted advisor. Because if people buy for different, like, you're not just an order taker, you're not just somebody that works in a call center on a phone who has really very limited skills, decision-making power, et cetera. And I think as this business grows and as the advisor grows, I think it's important that they move into a different level where they actually portray themselves as a trusted advisor and not just a sort of an phone answer, order taker, what have you. And I get the feeling like that's the same feeling that you have as well.
100%. I love that. Exactly what you just said is what we're all about. So yeah.
Good. Good.
Spot on.
So keep marketing. It's one of those things that for some reason, there's a thought process like, oh, I don't want new clients, or there's just a misconception about what marketing actually is. And I think, where agency ownership, or given the ownership to the individual advisors, there's sort of a lack of impression about the necessity of marketing. And I know that you don't fall into that category for sure. And I think you give a lot of great direction for your advisors when it comes to their marketing.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, we love leaning into Truevail. Also, I think it's very authentic marketing. It's unbiased marketing. And it's the type of marketing that when clients see it, I know, for example, my clients see it, you're staying top of mind in like a refreshing kind of way, not like I'm going to open this email and what is this going to, like this kind of sale. That luxury client is looking for inspiration. They're looking for authenticity, and they're looking for ideas. And so our clients love receiving it. And I know the advisors that are also working, they've also adopted Truevail. It's been very effective. I mean, I'll give you an example. There was one we did on barging. We didn't identify a particular company. We just talked about how you talked about in the newsletter, the content was about how of a great experience that could be. I had a client reach out immediately and say, this is something we want to do for 3 years. Can we book this? It was like, it's almost like an aha moment. And it's not aggressive solicitation, it's inspiring. And that's what the luxury travel, I think. I mean, you're the expert, but that's been our experience so far.
Well, that's awesome to hear. That means a lot to us, because we're in the back room pushing papers around and keyboards and everything else, and the team, David and Kate, are back there making magic happen. And we don't always hear the feedback, so having feedback like that is really fantastic. Obviously, we love it, but and if anybody is not aware, there's a lot of supplier-based marketing programs out there, and they all have their place, and they all have some good value to them. But when we put together Truevail, the point was to not just duplicate that. We my background with being an individual business owner and marketer, et cetera, I wanted to create something that would put the advisor in the spotlight, not the property. Make the advisor the focal point of the conversation, because your clients, they need guidance. They're scared. Maybe they don't know what to do. They've done a lot of research, and now they're going to come to you and they go, okay, I've spent the last 2 weeks researching Africa. What do you think? Do I do and beyond, or do I do this one, or do I that one? And
Right.
you have to be in that position to be able to answer those things. And so it's not always about, oh, you saw something, okay, you want me to directly book that particular property. We try to get away from that a little bit. And with help directly from you, obviously you're on our advisory board. So Truevail has an advisory board where we're not just pulling ideas out of thin air, we're actually getting direct feedback from all you guys that are frontline, listening to clients, saying, here's what we would really like our clients to know about what it is that we do, how we can best help them,
Right.
rather than just hotel offer. It becomes more of an inspirational and educational piece. So of course we love having you on our advisory board because we have direct input, and plus you have a marketing background, et cetera. So it's really great for us. So obviously we thank you very much for your participation in that.
Yeah, no, I look forward to the Truevail meetings because there's such meaningful conversations that come about from us. I think, we cover a lot of ground between everyone on the board, and it's always about the authenticity of travel and what do our clients need to hear right now. And it's meaningful. It's some really great conversations that to be had, and that you allow us to contribute so much. And then Kate and David take like all of our conversations and beautifully present it. It's really great. We kind of have these free flow conversations on travel. It's one of my favorite things to do is, what do clients need right now, or what's upcoming, or what's a great place to go, what's something different. And it's not just kind of the same old, sure, you have your classic destinations, but how can we put it in a different light? And so
Sure.
The conversations are always very inspiring, and thank you for giving us a platform to be able to share that with our clients. It's been very effective. So.
Great to hear. So what's the future? What's the future look like for TRAVELLUSTRE? Where do you see this going? And what are your hopes?
Yeah, so I think I know we're expanding our team, we're expanding our management team, which means more support for advisors. We're really building it out as an ongoing mastermind. That's what I like to say it. And so we are welcoming new advisors, but the right kind of advisor. Our team has amazing synergy. We support each other. We really love learning from each other. We want to keep that good synergy going. There's something out there for everyone. And so that's where TRAVELLUSTRE really is looking to in the future, is to continue to run it as an ongoing mastermind. We love having our advisors involved in all areas of the industry, on boards, or participating in the industry in some other way. So that's really what we're seeing. Like, we just launched our ETA program, which is super exciting. So we're going to give our advisors even more opportunities to expand their teams in the right kind of way. So we're looking forward to supporting them in that, because as we all know, the 2023 demand is on an upward trajectory, and it's going to continue like that. So
that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, we love seeing everyone succeed. So there's nothing that brings me more joy than seeing an advisor of one expand their team and grow it out, because I personally struggled with that training and selling, back when I first started my agency, D.A. Luxury Travel. It was always a struggle for me to try to sell and train, and I wasn't really doing the proper training, because I was, you see a sale come in and they would last for a certain period of time. So now that fast forward 10 years later, and I'm at a different stage and I'm able to offer this program, it actually is like, it brings me a lot of joy to be able to have people not go through what I went through. So.
I hear you. Well, it brings us great joy for sure to see you setting new standards. And I think it's really important in the business to have people like you leading the way in new development and creating a new ethos for advisors, and giving people an opportunity, either somebody that's been in the business or somebody that wants to crack into it. What you're doing is amazing, and I'm really glad we had the opportunity to talk about it a little bit. So if anybody's out there and they are interested, they should just reach out to you.
Yeah, we'd love, we are accepting new members for our Travelustre team. So Kristin at Travelustre, you can go to our website, travelustre.com. You can find us on Instagram at Travelustre Boston. And we'd love to have a conversation. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you again real soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And we love Truevail. So
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much.